Today we are going to be having a look at making organic fertilisers for the garden. The sun's out and the weather's starting to warm up a bit, so it's a good time to get your plant food ready for your victory garden for feeding all your vegetables. Hi everyone, welcome back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. The sun's out, it's a glorious day. It's a little bit of wind, a little bit of noise from the factory at the back, but it's such a glorious day. Now we are in for a spell of 5 days of dry sunny weather. It's forecast up until Sunday at the moment, and today is Tuesday, so excuse my hat, but the sun's very hot. It's about 15-16 degrees here today. We're going to get on and make some natural fertiliser today. The first one we're going to do is my sheep poo fertiliser. Now I have a lot of sheep poo here because I live in the middle of the countryside. There's sheep in this field, the sheep in the field just there, and the sheep in the field just there. So I've only got to walk out my door really, and it's there in the field ready to take. So I'm going to show you how to make that one. The other thing I do as well is I fertilise my dog waste. Now I'll show you how I do that as well. I would only recommend it if you use natural dog food, not the chemical laden dog foods, but the natural pure dog foods. I feed my dog pure food. It's by a company called pure.com I think it is. I'll pop a link in the description bar below and you'll get a discount I think. And yeah, I use that. I put it again in a black bin with holes round it, leave it there for a few months. The sun will rot it down. I add some sawdust to it off the chicken bedding. And then I've got, at the end of the 6 months, I've got some lovely, rich organic matter to go back on the garden. I would only use it round fruit bushes, fruit trees, roses, that kind of thing. Don't use it round your spinach and stuff like that. But it's just, again, another free organic fertiliser that I can use on the garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my cup of tea and then we're going to go and have a look in the field, gather some sheep poo. I'll show you that bucket first and then I'll show you the dog waste. So this is the field I come to for my poo. As you can see, sheep on the hill, sheep in the field. So I've got my bucket and I'm in the field and I'm just going to have a look round and see what I can find. Now, you want fresh poo. You don't want stuff that's dried out or stuff that's been out in the rain for ages because all the nutrients will have washed out that. So you want stuff that's quite fresh. So what I'll do is I'll take you around with me and I'll show you what I'm picking up and then I'll get on with filling my bucket with my poo. Right, this is the sort of thing you want to be picking up. It's nice and fresh. There's another one. My gloves did have fingers in when I came out. But there you go. As you can see, you can find quite a bit. I wash my hands when I get home. Now, you don't have to take loads, depends on the size of your bucket. Let's see, I've got quite a bit in there already. I'm just going to finish this and then I'm going to go back to the house. Believe it or not, this was an air raid shelter for the war. The pipe you can see sticking up at the back was an air pipe to keep it ventilated. And every house had to have an air raid shelter. And when the ministry from the man from the War Office came round, this was what they had to build. So you can see all the galvanised metal underneath and then they put sods of earth on the top. And that was their air raid shelter for the big house next door. Not sure I'd have felt safe in that myself, but I don't think there'd have been much bombing around here. There were some stray planes that crashed here further up the valley, but isn't it beautiful? Gorgeous day, absolutely gorgeous. Love the silhouettes on those trees. Cypress trees, I think they are. They're my favourite trees here. Very statuesque, look at them. There's a pesky fox that lives in there, but I haven't seen him for a while. So maybe he's gone, if you know what I mean. Right, time to go back to the house. I could just stay here and look at the view all day, but I've got work to do. Right, let's take this bucket back. Okay, so this is the bin that I started a couple of years ago. Didn't do one last year, but I'm going to save the water. I'm just going to give it a check. There you go. So if I put my spade in there, there's lots of organic matter from the poo from last time, because I just put the poo straight in the bucket. Maybe you can see it, still sheep poo in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into a bottle. I've got one of these big water bottles, and I'm going to put it straight into there with everything in it. And I'm going to use this for a funnel. So I'm just going to cut the bottom off. As they say on Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to put that, oh, that fits perfectly on there. And I need something to scoop it out. Right. I didn't wash my hands because I'm going to get them dirty again now. Let's try and get it in a stable spot. And what I can do with this is I can dilute it down and put it on the crops as I start planting them to give them a good boost. So it's not going to waste. Didn't realise there was so much stuff in it. It's great. It's a dirty job. It stinks. I won't lie to you, it does stink. Right, that's one. So as I say, I can use that now on my plants and dilute it down. Right, so there's a lot of poo left in the bottom of this, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it on the cabbages and pour it around my roses and my dried fruits. So I'm going to put it in a spare watering can or a spare bucket, and then I'll just use that throughout the week. But I'll show you how I do it. What you're going to do is, got a 5 litre watering can. This is a 1 litre tub. There you go. And then that is going to go on my cabbages. So you want roughly a litre of your water to a 5 litre watering can on the plants. There you go. So that's how you use it. Right. I think Gertie's very happy about it too. I filled my bucket now with some fresh water, and I'm going to sort out the sheep poo. So we're going to get a bag. You want a plastic bag, and you want to put loads of holes in it. You could use a mesh bag if you've got one, like an old logs bag. You could use an old potato bag, Hessian sack, whatever you've got. but I've got loads of composting bags, so I'm going to use one of them. So just go and get my bag. Right, so I've got an old mailing bag, I've got myself a piece of rope, and I've got a cable tie and my bucket of poo. So I'm going to shove my poo in the bag, obviously. I've cut holes in it already. Pop it all in there. And all you want the holes for is just so it goes, the water's able to soak into the bag. What did I just do with my cable tie? Oh well, I've dropped my cable tie somewhere. Right, so we'll tie the bag. Can't find my cable tie, I've just dropped it somewhere. And this is basically just so you can get it out of the water when you're finished. So push it in. So you want to help it in. There. You want that to go under the water. Now it's full of water now, so that's good. If you can. Right, so I know I need a bit more water in that to put it up to the top, but I'll do that when I've got the hose pipe out, because I haven't got the hose pipe out at the moment. And then you just want to take your lid. If you've got a lid, pop it on the top, pop a brick on, and leave that to ferment until it starts to smell. When you stir it, if you get a pooey smell, you know it's ready. Probably about 2 or 3 weeks. So there you go, that's how you make sheep poo fertiliser. I know it's a bit of a long video for that, but the next 2 bits are going to be very quick, I promise you. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look and see how I do the dog poo. That's very easy, it's a lot easier than that. And yeah, I'll just take you up the top of the garden. Okay, so these are my composting bins. This one's just an ordinary garden compost bin. It's not going to get used for the dog poo. This is my black bin setup. I think this is the one that's nearly finished. Yeah, that one's finishing off nicely. Now the sun's coming, it's going to heat it up really well. So that's that one. This has been going all through the winter, this one, since about November, this October, November, I think. See if I can show you what it's like. There you go, see? It's rotting down nice. I know it doesn't look very nice, but it is rotting down. Now that'll be ready for the summer. So that's that one. I keep the bricks on to make sure no rats can get in. Underneath here, I put holes all around the bottom, and underneath this ground here, there is metal corrugated sheets for some reason. No idea why, but it's very handy because it means the rats can't get in. This is my sawdust bin. I get this off the place at the back, and I just mix it up with that. And this is the bin that's just been started. This was emptied in the autumn last year. So I've had quite a bit of compost off stripe. But this is the one that's active at the moment. As you can see, there's lots of poo in there, rotting down. So all I do is empty it in, give it a good shake to make sure you've got everything out the bottom. And then I just pop a bit of sawdust on over the top, like that. Pop the lid on. and pop the bricks back on. Now the sun has been round here, so it's in direct sunlight, but the sun's just disappearing, so and then I'll leave that, and then next time I come up I give it a squiz with a stick and put the next layer on. Right, so that's that. So there's his bucket. So as you can see, this one is relatively easy to do. I think I need to move this because it's in the sunlight. So both bins are set up the same. That one's got holes around the bottom as well, whether you can see them. There you go, put holes around the bottom. And I've put mesh inside the bin as well to stop the rats being able to bite through the holes, because they did have a go at it. You can see down there, they've had a go, but they can't get in because there's mesh in there. Right, okay. Like when it's ready. There you go, a nice, rich, organic compost. And that is ready to go on the garden. There's no smell left in it, there's no poo left in it. It's just all rotted down and all ready to go on my roses. So that's what I'm going to do with it. I'll pop it round my rose border and yeah, get my roses off to a good start. Very happy. Smells like lovely compost. Lovely compost. So this is ready to be used just the same way as you'd use any other compost, really. They're lovely. Do you know, it's an absolutely glorious day today. Absolutely stunning. I've got my washing out on the washing line for the first time this year, which is brilliant. And we've been busy so far. I've got the sheep poo fertiliser done. I've shown you the dog poo. I've shown you how to use the sheep poo fertiliser and decanting it and how to mix it. So the next thing we're going to do, the sheep fleece bins. And then I'll show you in another video when it's ready, and what to look for it being ready. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, but I'm just going to sit and have my bowl of fruit and yogurt. And it's tinned fruit, it's tinned peaches. I just fancied it today. I've also got this book as well that I wanted to show you. It was Your Garden in Wartime, and it's another Mr. Middleton book. Now, this is a reprint of an original book of talks done by Mr. Middleton for your garden. It was first done in 1941. I'd like to try and find the original book and see what that was like in comparison to the new book. But yeah, it's set out in months. In fact, it's set out in seasons and months, which is great. It starts in autumn. Where are we? It starts in autumn, and there's some of the chapters there. Now I'm starting in spring, so I'm starting halfway through the book, and I'm starting with February. Methods in sowing and planting is where I'm starting in the book. I just started it today, so I've no idea what it's like, but so far with the first chapter it looks really, really good. It tells you how to lay your rows out, what to sow at certain times a year, what jobs you should be getting on with again. And yeah, it just looks really, really good. So I'm looking, it says fill in the salad bowl for April, spring sowings for April as well, wartime flowers, because you could still grow flowers because some of them are medicinal, so it was a good idea to do that. Seeds for March, methods in sowing and planting, which is the chapter I'm reading, and then it takes you all the way through to summer at the end of the book. And then I'll go back into the beginning of the book and read autumn and winter. So I'm going to follow this for the whole of this year, and carry on with the things that it says each month. So I'll let you know how I get on. But this copy, I think, was £3 on eBay, including the postage. And it's "The Gardeners of England can do much to help the nation in its hour of need. Your Garden in Wartime, Mr. C.H. Milton." So if you're interested, I found it on eBay. Looks like a good book to follow if you're doing a Dig for Victory garden. And then you can follow along with what people were doing during the wartime in their garden. So as I say, I'm just going to have my snack, and then I'm going to get on with my sheep fleece bin. I think that's it for me for today. I've got to go in and sort the tea out. I've got to go and make a condensed milk cake, which I did a recipe on that for you on my last video. So if you want to know how to make 1940s condensed milk cake, I'll pop it in the description bar below for you. And yeah, I think that's it. Don't forget to pop over to my Ko-fi page. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, you can do so over there. It will be much appreciated for all the work that I do here on YouTube, because I do it for free. And yeah, you can also buy Stripe a bone if you want to. So yeah, we're gonna go and get on with the rest of our day, and I'll see you in the next video on Wednesday. So enjoy the rest of your week. Oh, don't forget you can find me on social media on Facebook and Instagram as well. So see you soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.